I would die for you any day, Tatsukaru Ike. Please do not die. First of all, dying is bad for your health. Also, I am not worth dying over. Nobody should die over me. I don't think anything in life is so important that you should die over it. Because if something is truly important, then nothing is so important that you have to give your own life for it. You should always treasure your life because you only have one of those. Hold on to it tight, for your own sake and for the people around you that love you. And even if you feel like sometimes you might be very alone and not have a lot of people around, and that if you're in a dark place and think that you don't matter to anybody, then that's not true. There's always somebody thinking of you. And you will meet more people that will make room in their hearts for you. You will find those people. Don't you worry. So cling on to the life that you have. You only got one of those. And if you don't have anybody, if you feel like you don't have anybody, then you just haven't found them yet. They're out there. You'll find them. Trust me.
A lot of this is pretty relatable. Like the whole inferiority complex or an imposter syndrome, all of that stuff. I feel like everybody has dealt with that at one point or another, where they look at themselves and then look at others and be like, why should I bother? I'm not like them. But what you gotta realize is that everybody has their own pace and gets their own time. The only way that you're never ever going to reach your goals, if you're looking at them and if it's too difficult for you to look at people who are ahead of you and have them as inspiration, as a driving force, if that doesn't work for you, then I think that's entirely fine. But you also know that they might have been doing this for a very long time, and there's only one singular way that you will never ever reach where you want to be. You know what that is? Giving up. The one 100% guaranteed way to never reach where you want to be is by giving up. So hang in there, be patient, take things at your own time, and when sometimes you feel a little bit discouraged or like you're not progressing fast enough or you're not reaching your goals, I know it's difficult, but try to hang in there. Try to focus on the positives. Look at where you've been. Look at where you've been and see where you are now. Because I'm willing to bet that regardless of how far you are from your goal, you're probably even further from where you started. And that's proof of how far you've gotten. And if you got that far, then you can go the distance. Take it from me. I've been stuck plenty of times and feel like I didn't progress anywhere and that I missed my shot or whatever. But you can't take the stubbornness out of this novelist because yeah, boy just likes to make things way too much. So I couldn't keep myself away from it, and I'm glad that that turned out to be the case, because if I gave up, then I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in Nijisanji. So I'm glad that I was too stubborn and too obsessed with various things to give anything up. Haruka-san, arigatou gozaimasu. Sorry that I went on a little rant there. It's just is a subject that's very near and dear to my heart, and that I'm very passionate about. And I know that there's a lot of creatives amongst you guys as well. And I know that creatives, we struggle with motivation and a bunch of other things, too numerous to mention. So sometimes I feel like it's nice to hear that from other people that, hey, it happens to everybody. Everybody feels this way at some point or another. So whether you're drawing, writing, singing, anything under the sun, don't stop. Don't give up on your hobbies. Don't give up on your passions, because you never know when an opportunity might show itself. And if you haven't given up, then you have an opportunity to seize it. And if you miss your shot, try again. As long as you shoot for the moon, you're gonna at least land amongst the stars, right? This is one of the reasons why I just cannot help but find her character so endearing. Because we see her at the beginning when we meet her, and everything that we go through, because she has a palace dedicated to her, there's so much character development that the rest of the cast doesn't really get. And seeing her go from that and where she is at in the beginning to this, that journey is so good to see. It's so wholesome. And it's kind of inspiring. Because it's one of those reminders that you can have sometimes, is even when things are at a point where they seem like they cannot get any worse, like this is the lowest that it's gonna get and it's never gonna get any better. It can, and it will. It might take some time, and you might need some help. But it's not something that is entirely unchangeable. So, if you're someone out there that's going through something rough at the time, hang in there. There's a lot of people that believe in you, that want the best for you. And no matter what happens, if you stay strong and do your best and tough it out, eventually things are going to get better. Take it from someone that went through a lot, and I mean a lot in the past, for a very long time. It does get better. And for that, opinion on YN fanfics. Whatever makes you happy. I am... you know what? I will just say this. Like, anybody that... I know that there's a little bit of a stigma about, like, YN fanfics, and I want to dive headfirst in the opposite direction. Self-insert to your heart's content. Whatever makes you happy, go for it. Whatever makes you happy, just like swan dive into that thing. If it makes you happy, if it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy, go for it. You're not hurting anybody. Absolutely just like go straight into that thing if it makes you happy. If you want to read a fanfic like where you go on a date with a fictional character, then you absolutely go for it. If you want art commissioned of you just hanging out with your favorite, hanging out with Sasuke and going to bowling and having pina coladas afterwards. If you want a comic of that, go for it. I will stand there at the sidelines, scream at you like, yeah, go for it. Okay, with that, I think we should wrap this up. Thank you all so much for coming, and I'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.